updates lately and making my life a little bit difficult. I'm not gonna lie. They're changing stuff around and changing the settings and making me have to go through and change stuff. So sorry that if you didn't see it on YouTube, it's on YouTube now. You can find it on our YouTube now. I don't know why it wasn't there first, but yeah.
All right. So how does that? Oh, and then here's your second one.
This is my second one I made. This one has a vintage nightgown on. The pattern's vintage. I made the dress and a bonnet. How come I'm not? Okay, here we go. But this one has a more matte finish face because I used baby powder on it. When the resin was half cooked, I went over it with baby powder outside, and then I blew it off, and it has now like a nice soft matte finish, and it covers up. It covers up the 3D print a little bit better. My third face is my best so far.
Let's see it.
I am making a body right now.
Right there.
It's not the way.
Oh.
Oh, is that the way? Good job, Max.
So Max comes from over. Very good at technical things here. Hello, Nilda. Hello, Connie.
Here, just leave it. Over there.
They're working on it.
I know. It's a challenge every day.
Every time. Every time. Yeah, because I only see 3 bars. You see it, Max?
Oh.
Do you see?
Now it says 1.
Can you do something about that? Do you see the problem?
Well, all we've done was connected it to the router, so it should work now, if anything, but I don't know.
Go check it.
That's all you can do.
Oh.
Yeah, there's not.
Or I'm gonna put the camera
my
on.
computer doesn't have cellular, so here. I have this. This is my most recent one. This one you can barely see the lines at all. It's going to be the sheep, the lamb. I'm going to make it a brown lamb with Sherpa fleece.
Kicking my beads. Not that there's a ton of beads to kick. Maybe a few beads to kick.
I use baby powder on this one too, but this one's better because you can barely see the lines because I use 2 layers of resin instead of 1.
Nilda says it's a little spacey.
What's a little spacey? This one? Or our internet? I don't know what that means. What's spacey? My face? Well, I just copied a picture, so
it's supposed to be like.
It's supposed to be
from
freaky.
The 40s,
60s. These were big in the 50s and 60s.
All right, seems positive. Pat says so cute. Cynthia says very blurry.
Yeah.
Well, we have 1 bar of internet.
Yeah, we've got we have a little
directly into the internet.
White block plugged in down here. That's an extension of our router, so we shouldn't have to be plugged into the router. But Max just brought up an extender to plug us also into the router, so we're at like every possible
Well, we live in the mountains. Let's just be real. Let's just say it like it is. We live in the mountains and we're covered with trees in every corner of the property. So sometimes you don't have great internet. So go check down there and see what they're doing about it.
There's nothing they can do. The internet has been like the Wi-Fi's been trashed for days. Here, let me get this. So it's probably good that we didn't do a lot sale today because then you guys would not be able to see our goodies. But I thought ahead and I got us listings on the website. So those pictures are crystal clear if you guys want to see those. So while Mom talks about it, here's a link to our page, our trunk show page. We restocked some of these labradorite. I don't know why I called them leaves. They're not really leaves, but that's what they're called. They're full strands of these labradorite. They're just carved nuggets. And then we also uploaded 10 of these.
That's the one we split. So we had the most.
We had these before. We had like 1 or 2 strands of these on the website before, and then everybody asked for them to be split up. So now she split them. So now those are there. Those are at the very top of the page right there. If you click on the link. So, oh yeah, Wendy says, I'm super excited about you splitting the big opals. Count me in on 1. Are they on the site? Yeah, there's the link right there. Sounds like Cynthia's having more trouble than everybody else with our stream. She's just spinning and frozen. I'm sorry.
What can we do? Can we
can't do anything. The computer doesn't connect to anything but internet or like Wi-Fi. Doesn't have cell service.
Yeah, we don't have cellular on this computer. Yeah, we're gonna flip the camera.
Plugged in for sure.
And now make sure. Here's the other question. So if Max plugged in here, the next question would be: did they actually plug it in downstairs?
Yeah, that blue cord is plugged in downstairs. It has not ever stopped being plugged in. It's always been plugged there.
All right, flip this. Cecilia bought the full strand. So that is that's pretty good. Yeah, Ann says it's blurry pixels. What if I hit when we've refreshed?
You can try. But
Is
I'm
that
pretty
the-
sure it's just the router itself.
Can you go test it and say that it's plugged in? Because it might not be plugged in all the way.
I can promise you, but I'll.
Bonnie says it's not today. It's pixelated. It's probably one of the banes of my life is the internet here. All right, I'm going to flip this. Oh, all right. So these are the ones that I'm gonna. Are they on?
It's always been plugged in. I just looked at it and saw with my eyes.
So these are the ones. Excuse me. I'm still. You know what? The tulip trees are still. Yeah, I can see that it's a little bit blurry.
Well, if people can't see it, I sent them the link to it, and maybe we don't have to. Maybe we can have a short stream today since nobody can even see us anyway.
I'm gonna try doing that thing because I hate for this to not be doing what it's supposed to do. How do I refresh on this? Such a pain. Sorry, guys. Seems like there's always something. Always something. All right, I'm gonna try to refresh this and see if I can get this to do. Just be patient for a second.
All right, you guys.
No.
How's it now?
That seems like it did it. Look, we've got 2 bars now. All right, that's better. That's a lot better. For me, at least. Yeah, it seems like that's a little bit, you can see, yeah, Cynthia says it's better. Did the branch hoops get on the site yet? That is these. Did you put these up?
No, I didn't know I was supposed to. I'm sorry.
We could do a lot sale on those. Let me see how many I have. You could really do a lot. I have sitting here.
So I could kind of require my phone to do that though, but let's
For a lot?
Yeah, I have to do the calculations. There's a calculator right here. Oh, perfect.
All right, Vicky says it's clear. Everybody says it's clear. We had to go in and out.
Thank goodness. Otherwise, I'd start crashing out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do we have to do?
This is on the
a
site.
Wi-Fi deity to pray to or something?
I don't know. I don't know about any of all that. All I know is that it's a pet peeve of mine. And I don't know what I have to do to get good internet, but it doesn't seem like anything I do.
I know we got an extension, you plug it into the
If
router.
you guys should see a mouse trap of all the internet things we have going on. So I pulled these out of the store. And because there's I think that we reloaded because I bought the Hank because I'd never seen this cut. Check them out. They have a blue flash. The price is right on these guys. What was it like? How much were these? Do you remember offhand?
I thought those were like $10.
They're super, super inexpensive. But even though they're inexpensive, they have big holes. Vicky says, I live in NYC and they still have an extension in our other room. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It seems like it's a huge pain. Ever since I started doing lives, it has been like the one and only thing that's always like an issue. I did a live in San Francisco, right? You'd think that they have every square inch of that place completely connected. And I was at the Alameda Flea Market and I couldn't get any internet. Zero internet. So while I'm doing this, I'm just going to stick this in here. I only have 4 of these to go. We can make more, but I'll do this now just to get it out of the way. So this is for these branch. I only have 4. We didn't have a chance to put them on the website. But if you're sure you want it, you can just go ahead and get it now. But if you're not sure, then wait till the next round. One of the things we've had a problem with is people is having to track down folks. The reason the lot sales kind of sometimes are not that fun for us is that, it's fun to make the lot and say, bid and have fun bidding, but then the follow through is where sometimes it kind of falls down. And then we have to, track people down. I don't want to do that story. I got too much to do as it is. So anyway, so I have 4. It looks like all 4 sold, or at least there's 3 that sold. So those are them. You want to write these down so you have to go back? Let me just do it now. All right. Let's see. So that was lot 520. Yeah, it looks like all of them. I might have one more hanging around my desk, but I think that's it. One thing I wanted to show is I think this is done. I'm going to show this. So you can see what I've been getting up to all week long. Let me see if you can see it. Maybe I can go zoom. I'm going to zoom it. Oh my God, I can see all the details that I could barely see with my optivisors on. And of course, the first thing I see when I look at it, I'm like, wow, that's off there. The dangers of looking at your stuff too closely. So I started this during Halloween. So that's some indication of sometimes these pieces can seem like they can take a long time. So I don't know if y'all remember how many different times I've shown this, but now the owl has more detail. He's a little bit thicker than he was before. And here's the back. And it says, the mountains are calling. I don't know if you can see, it's very subtle, but you can kind of see it. There's a little bit of shadow. Has a little bit of a rhododendrons down here and a little moon right above there. And this is a quote by John Muir. I don't know how you say it. Muir. How you pronounce that? Muir? Muir Woods. You guys have ever been there? It's near San Francisco. There's a bunch of huge trees, and the only reason they haven't logged it is because they can't figure out how to get down there. Isn't that wonderful? So this is the other one. I've been digging on this one for ages. So I'm glad that that's finally wrapped up. Okay, here's one that I started last week. Maybe it was not that long. Maybe it's more than that. Okay, so this is a little Sphinx button. It's going to be cast. And, well, I want it to be in silver. That's my goal. And I think it would look good, with this story. So I made it to go with basically everything I make. I'm making it so that I can use it in my jewelry. So that's, and pewter would look good, bronze would look good, silver. Of course, that's my first love. That would be the best. So this is not done, because you can see how that wing, I've been scraping on this. I've redone that head 6 different times. And that there's a flower or something. I might do away with it because it might be kind of, I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. This is not done yet. But the rest of this is, I finished this one. So I had these links. And you're going to like this story. So I'm working on this to go with a kit we're working on with Anne. She's making us a kit that will have some of these caps. And the caps, there'll be a competition to see how everybody uses it because, that's fun. And this is where these pieces will debut. I haven't decided. I'll look at this when it's in cast in metal. And it might not come out because I haven't really done this. I did something with a wing probably 15, 16 years ago, but I didn't do anything else. It was a cicada wing, and it smelled really weird. And I got a weird thing about smell, so I could barely stand to work on it. I know that sounds kind of weird. And I just said weird 5 times in a row. But anyway, I thought, wouldn't that be cute? Could be chain dangling, or it could be wire wrapped closer with like an 8mm bead. Hey, why am I keeping these together? I'm just gonna cut them. What's going on here? And I have this long one. So I have a few of them. I haven't decided which one will go well. Maybe it'll be 2 of them. I don't know. So that's the collection. This, I think, is kind of just like a weird pendant. It's clawfoot. Did you make those flowers? No, Anne Gardan. Anne, this is your stuff. These little giblets right here. It's cute. She makes these in her studio. She just did a live sale. So these are coming in the next coming months. Is this kit? We're working it out. I'm going to work on a class to go with it. So it's going to be a full meal deal. Anyway, I'm still torn. Which one should go with what?
Full meal deal.
Yeah, there you go. So that's what I've been working on. And it might not, you're like, hey, weren't you working on that a few days ago? Well, it turns out that stuff takes a long time. This is another thing I've been working on. And by me, I mean Max. I'm going to spread it out on this book. I'm going to back out a little bit so you can see. We don't need to be this close. We actually don't need that book in there. It's something I found in the garage. I'll show it to you. And I've been missing it. Max is printing this doll for me on the 3D printer. I don't know how to do this kind of stuff. My son does. And this is, I don't remember the artist that's made this, so there's the eyes that you
Somebody
can.
on Etsy.
Yeah, there's someone. It's not exactly the real Blythe because that head is like another. It's like this much more.
Yeah, that's cool that he's printed that and it's supposed to be Blythe, but it looks like Little Miss No Name because I saw a to you like maybe a child. And then I instantly went to eBay or Etsy to see if I could find one because I wanted to get it for you because I knew you liked them. And then I found out how expensive the old ones were.
The actual Blythe dolls. I have a few.
Actual Little Miss No Name.
Oh, Little Miss No Name is super expensive. I wanted one when I was a kid, but I saw it at the flea market, and this was probably like the 80s. And this doll came out in the 60s. This one didn't. This looks like it. It looks kind of spooky right now, but I'm gonna put some kind of epoxy putty on it. So this is, you can see the 3D printing lines on it. You can see it has a kind of a weird texture. Print more. And then when it's being printed, it has this whole amorphous looking organic shape that it grows out of. It looks just like foam. But this is one of the little side projects. Max is making it for me. And it'll be my own Little Miss No Name doll when I'm done. So that's one of the projects we've been working on. I have done nothing on this, Max. I bought the file. It was on Etsy. You can buy all these different files on the internet. So cool. Oh, I want to show this. This was in the garage. And I started this, I don't know how long ago, but it's on this handmade paper. And I thought, what would be cool is if I taped off the paper. These are all originals. So there's all watercolor and gouache in there. I know, kind of goofy, some of this. So these are all little originals that are in this sketchbook that I found in the garage. Thankfully, it was in a nice container and not getting messed up. This one's better. You can see more of the little details. Very thick paper. Yeah, egg tempera you can see there how it has some nuance and color to it. Oh, I made that little bird girl not that long ago. Came out pretty good. Oh, this is someplace I wish was real. Just made it up. Everything in here is made up. Some little scenes. Yeah, look, this one, it's a different scene on the inside. It's like a portal. Green girl. Oh, thank you, my friends. Oh, here's one that I didn't finish. You see, this is how you do it. You put up painter's tape. This is probably way old. And this kind of paper, even though it's super thick, you can see it's almost like fabric. That deckled edge. It's a very thick paper, but the thing is, it really absorbs the paint. So I've gessoed it. Oh, there's one of Greg. Looks kind of slovenly there with that not shaved look. Yeah. Oh, that's my fish. That's Popo. Popo was a pearl scale. In Hawaiian, that means round. Oh, this is me being experimental with watercolor. Kathy says, how did you get the name of your business? This gal right here. This is Green Girl. She walks along the beach of all things lost. That's a long time ago when I came up with it when I was in my youth. It's probably 16 or 17. It was right around the time that my older brother disappeared. He disappeared for about 22 years. And I used to have this imagining that everything that was ever lost washed up on this shore. Oh, hello, Alice. Alice is joining us. Hey, Alice, I was wearing your necklace earlier. This one's another one of Greg. We're at this bar called the Imperial Life. That was the name of the insurance building that it was in, but they just kept the name. Yes, Bonnie says, is that Greg? Yes, this is when I look at it this way, it doesn't look much like him. But sometimes if you look at the parts, they look like him, but all together, sometimes there's a little bit of difficulty. All right, that's as far as I got. But every once in a while, I'd pick this book up and I would do a little bit of something in there. So that was a nice find. All right. Let me go back to this. This is what I was working on a few days ago. And I'm going to use these beads, I think. So this necklace, I was talking about being modular, which it is. I would like to continue with it and add a piece there because I love this. And I thought, hey, you know what else would be cool is beading into this piece. So right here, could put it on this side. Might be a loop.
You started a whole accidental series with that one necklace.
I know, who would know? But you know, I love it because, you know, I can keep building on it. And for me, I have a hard time finishing up a project unless it's like, in any way, I just don't finish a lot of projects unless I have to finish it. You would not believe how the stacks of partly done jewelry over here that I have to just sit down and do. I found this. Y'all probably remember this. This is for my kit. And it was pretty good. Oh, thanks, Cherie. Yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to shoot a like over, or even, not sure what else you could put. You know, likes are good if you share. That's also nice. I didn't finish this one. Cassandra says she's got a package on the way. Has always been filling orders all day long. This one needs a clasp. And then you know what? I've been debating on what to clasp it with. That's the other thing. Sometimes I get to a wall with a piece. I don't know what else I'm going to do. This I do know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to try and keep these pieces so that it's long and it will fit me, but I can wear it with the sides at any point. I'm going to put these in and continue my color palette. Maybe throw in some pearls. I thought pearls would be pretty in this. Oh, we have one. Do we have a lot number for this too, Azalea?
Which one? The kit?
Yeah, she's got it all packaged up and ready to go. They're all packaged.
There should have been a tag in the top one.
Okay, there is. Okay.
Packed with like bubble wrap already. I shipped a bunch of those, and then we can show them again because we had like 12 of them, and now we have 4. So you can show those again.
All right, this one is from Tucson. There is, and I will show
That's
it.
that decadent crochet kit.
It's a decadent crochet. So there's 4 left of this. I'll show it now. This is going to be a lot because it's not on the site. This is the one that had, I'm going to show these in a second, with the smaller beads. This is a ton of tiny beads in here. Let me just show it. So it's 86, but it's the lot number is 510. I only have 4 of these. And when this is gone, I don't have any more fixins to make it. But I am going to use some of, I'm not going to use this one because I have one sitting over here that's my personal one.
Dude, there's stuff in there that we've never put in a kit before.
No,
Like those opals.
Yeah, this is chock full of opals. I'm gonna make some space so to pour it out here. Maybe I'll pour it into a different bowl. Pour into this. No, this is too shiny. I'll just show this. So what I'm going to do with this is show how you can wire wrap some of these guys, these minis. I said they're not that small. There's kyanite in here. There's a lot of colors of that kyanite. There's Herkimer diamond. There's opal. There's these are tab opals. They're really gorgeous. I'm going to get in here and really get close to show this. Good. It still seems like that's lot item. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, look at all that in there. So this is a silver. One of these you get. One of these little points with a silver. This looks like silver to me.
No, those are pure.
You sure? Because it feels heavy like silver.
Unless Dad gave me a silver one and told me it was pewter. That should be pewter.
I would look at that carefully. But this is vermeil on top, and this is a quartz. And on this, these are those mini beads or the African. The color that I'm getting is like on the screen, it looks really like a cold purple, but it's actually more of a pink purple. And these little tablets, that's opal. So there's a lot of opal. This is kyanite. There is this Herkimer diamond, double terminated. There is really good, this really beautiful. I wish I bought more of this. These little labradorites that are kind of like an oval shape, but they're flat, so they stack. And they're really good quality, and they're drilled with a great big hole, which I love. So that's a good blend. It's a good blend, and there's a lot in there. And then plus I forgot that the thread comes with it. So if you wanted to try your hand at crochet, you could give it a whirl. I have full directions on the website. I'll put that back in the package. You might have this one, Wendy. I'm not sure. It's a possibility. It's a good one. It's one that we've received a lot of compliments on. People love it. I love it. I'm really happy with how that came out. Yeah, you take a look at all that goodie while I tuck it in there. It's a lot of beads. Make a lot of stuff with that. You go to the bead shows or bead stores if they have any more available, and you can see when you take the beads off of the strand, they become reduced in size somehow. So this is a nice full little tin with beads. I would say you would easily minimal get 3 full crochet necklaces. Like, where'd that crochet necklace go? Like this, very easily. I showed that before where you can make the pile. So I make the pile like this. And that's how I string them. Make piles. Of course, you can go and you can color coordinate them like I do. But you could get, I would say minimal, and I've been making these necklaces for years. I would almost venture to say 4 out of this 10 very easily. So it's a good value. Get your money's worth out of that. Wendy says, I can't wait to try my hand at crochet. It's pretty fun. It takes patience. All right, so that is, for that kit, that was lot 510. And I have 4 left on that. Okay, where did my collection go? All right, this is not the one I was hoping for. But I'm going to show it anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here. But I want to embellish this first. So I'm going to get some silver wire. I'm going to use 26. This is my favorite. This is a half hard sterling 26 gauge. It's small enough and pliable enough to fit most small gemstones, but it's not so thick and difficult that you can't, it's like so thin, it's easy to break. So I'm going to cut a small section, probably, what is that, 3 inches, and I'm going to decorate this. I'll anchor, I'm going to put my glasses on, number 1. Sheree says, such a pretty mix, so spring-like. It is. It is a springy mix. Maybe I'll put it over here so we can think about it if you're thinking about a kit. Put it in the corner here in case you're interested. I'll put that right there. And you can comment that. I did not put that on the website, partly because we only have 4. And sometimes it's kind of a drag to like go through the rigmarole and we only have like a handful. So I'm going to pick a spot. I could at any point, the reason this is a good piece for it is you could put you could go from any, you could start anywhere. Maybe I can even put that pearl in the middle. That might be pretty. That's too close of a fit. Almost fits perfectly. Isn't that weird? Sheree says, could you put a yellow center in there, like a flower? I didn't even I did not read your comment until just now, and a yellow center would be good. I have this leftover spring kit, and I have these lepidolite, but you know what would be perfect in there is, Wendy says, where do you get that French wire you were using on the ends? I got that from Cherry Tree. Got it from Jen. She has French wire. I think it's on our website. Or if you're local, you just pop into the store. That looks pretty. You guys like that? That's the pink opal from the, I'm just using the stuff that I have laying around that's like right here and available. I'm not going to dig on this one because this is a complete kit. But I think that'd be pretty. So the way that you do that is you'd anchor at one point, and the tricky part of it is, the hardest part is getting your wire where it's not sticking out and kind of like being a thorn, So I want to look at these and find one that has kind of a low spot. And what I mean is like there's a little bit of a low spot right here. So I'm like, that's perfect. I can tuck that I can anchor that in there and it's not going to stick out too far. Let's start it over here and just anchor it. Here's the tool. And what I mean by anchored is I'm going to make a small little bend in the wire. Just like so. And I'm going to brace it on this side. Maybe even make that hook a little bit sharper. I'm going to hold it in place. And come back through the other side. I hate when that happens. Try to get this. It's not. You see, I was fighting for my life there a second. Make sure this side is pinched closed. Now, this doesn't have to be like done super, super tightly so that it's not going to budge, because it's going to be, you know, not load bearing. It's just going to hold a single little pink opal. So I have two wraps holding it. You can barely see it. There's two little wraps right there. And I'm making my way over to the center. Tug it to make sure it's flush. You can barely even see it. I think I'll do one more wrap. You know, I beaded one of these really heavily and it looks really good. So I'm pulling tight because I don't want this thing, I don't want to feel that little extra thread or that the end of the wire poking me when I'm wearing the necklace. So when you're doing the wire wrap, if you come out one side, you can get kind of a, like it's kind of not level. So I'm going to come back around and come back to the front of this. Should have come out through this in the first place. So it looks a little more professional. This hole. Yeah. It's a good little movement. And you just go in and out through these little holes to secure the opal in place. Now you can go over it a couple times to make it where it doesn't move as much. So I have this here. Like when it's not there, it kind of wiggles. I don't want it to wiggle. I don't want it to wiggle at all. I want it to be nestled in there. So I'm going to push it down a little. Use my pliers to get that to go a little bit more. Coming through the other side. Pretty good. Perfect bead for the center, says Wendy. I would agree with that. Now I have that's secured in there. It could be even more secure, but let's see, flatten that out a little bit better. Now, you know what else I can do is I can push that in there. Let's see what's happening. It's kind of a finicky little fit. It's not doing what I want. So I'm going to come up through this side. I'm going to add some more beads to it. Let me see, what else do I have over here? Let's see. This would be a good one. That blue. Let's grab that. think it'd be nice. I love it when these little itty bitty stones fit. It's like there's so much joy in my heart when that happens. That's so good. I'm just going to go in and out. So you can secure that in there. It could actually fit in this one, nestled in. Just hold it in place. The trickiest part is to get them so that they don't have any wiggle. But it doesn't really matter if it does have a little bit of a wiggle. Because who's going to notice it and who cares, right? Because you could absolutely get it where they're really tight in place. And but you would need a little bit more wire. I would say get another piece and go over it. And you could secure them. These small ones are kind of difficult to put on the wire because you can barely see the hole unless you've got glasses on. Come on, get in there, you. Sometimes it's easier just to go at it like this. You could roll it around and find the hole at the top. But they fit there so perfectly. And you can just go around. Actually, I could put it on the second one. You could barely see the silver wire. Come on. So it's kind of filling that up a little bit. And they nestle into that hole. But you can see that there's a tiny bit of the wire showing. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I don't think it looks bad as far as like wire showing in there. Maybe I can go on the outer rim. And you can follow a pattern, go all the way. You could actually fill this whole thing up. You can go on the outer edge, which might be pretty cool. Let's see what that looks like. I don't know how it looks, so we'll just see. I found this opal in that container. Let's see if that fits in. Well, that might be too big. I think that's too big. Maybe this one might be a better size. Yeah, I think I will. It's hard to decide sometimes. So if I'm going to put it here, if I have it sticking out, am I going to like that? No, maybe not. And you know what else? You can keep adding to it like I'm going to do. You could add more of this action. Shuri says even pretty seed beads around the edge. Oh yeah, that'd be easy. And you don't have to use wire. You could use nylon. You could use Nymo, whatever you have on hand. You just have to secure it. You could even use a little bit of glue to keep it going. Let's see, where am I going to put that? I think all right there will be fine. Or, I might continue with that and just stay with the small size. And, what would happen if I put a drop? A drop might be interesting. Let's see what that looks like. I could fit that drop where it's kind of like that on the outside. Karen says, I use Crystal Wildfire. Yeah, that'd be pretty. Could go around the whole edge and do that all the way around. Might be cool. But I don't know. I'm kind of ambivalent towards it. I don't know if I love it or not. Maybe. We'll just leave it there for now. And if I don't like it, here's the good thing. I could just cut it off. So it's perfect if you're feeling indecisive or you're just wanting to make something or you just feel like making something. You don't have to be like, it's not a big deal. So here's the part that I don't like is when you have that little piece of silver or wire or whatever hanging out. You want to make sure that gets tucked in. So it's best. I'm going to tuck that on the inside. I'm not going to leave it on the outside to be easily snagged on something. And what I mean is not on the outside edge. It has a higher likelihood to get snagged. It's on that outside edge. And I'm just going to keep winding it around, trying to tuck it in so that it doesn't, it's not just hanging out, loosely. Okay. Yeah, Dale says you could attach charms and wire wrap drops with jump rings. Yes, you could do that too. And Dale says, fun piece to stitch. Yes, this would be fun. You could put different, there's so much potential. Dangles, really. That's one of the reasons I made this, is so that I would have full opportunity. So now that I look at it, do I want it to be like this, where you have a little bit of a dangle right here showing? Now that I look at it, do I like it sitting right there? Probably not. So, I went through all the rigmarole to do that. I don't know if I like it. That's how it goes. Sometimes you make something and it looks really good. Sometimes you're like, I could live without that. Because I want it to be like this. Let me back out a little bit so you can see what my goal is. Looks like a zinnia. Yeah, it kind of does. So this could be the back. Actually, when I was looking at this necklace, I was like, you know what, this would be comfortable for a net. And these could look good like this. And they still look good. So that's the perfect thing. If this was in the front, it wouldn't hang as well. This one wouldn't, because the petals want to be on the side. This one specifically wants to be there like that, like a fishing lure. I guess it could be like that. But if you put like these dangles, it's best to give them a good big jump ring. I didn't give it a big enough jump ring there. I put a small thing. And you know what? I regret that, because it kind of, like what I'm talking about is like this has a very small hole and this is a pretty small ring. It would have been better if this ring were larger. You know what I mean? So then it'd have more flip, or more like a jump ring. And I have some jump rings that would work really well with that, but I don't know if they're split. Sometimes you get these jump rings and they're pre-soldered. So this could be the back side. This could be the front. And I love this part and I want to maintain that. I think I'm going to use this big bead. So this is the back of the neck now, but it could be either direction. This, I'm going to cut that off the earliest. I'm just going to do it right now. How about that? Because it's in the way of where I want to go. And that was easy because the wire wasn't even that long. So what I'll do is unwind it. Well, you could cut it. I'm going to go and unwind all that I just did. And move that out. It's okay, but it's not adding anything to the design. So if it's not adding and it's just getting in the way, then we'll just take that off. Could be the back, Wendy, could be. Robin says, I like it in the back. Yeah, me too. I think it looks good. So this could actually be we'll save that for later. So I'll just leave that for now, hanging out just like that, just for a minute until I decide what to do. And something blue here would be nice. Maybe this big blue. You see, I'm repeating that pattern. I'm going to go with a little bit of that pink in here. Maybe connect it with this, or connect it with some of this. This would bring back the bronze coloration. So if I do a ring with that, one thing that'd be kind of cool is if I added this to be my clasp, I could do that and then hang it. So then there's a lot of interesting activity. But I kind of feel like this link, or this, it's a little snake loop. I'm not in love with it. So I'm going to let that simmer. So I'm probably going to let that marinate for a minute or so. But you can see what I'm doing with the coloration. It would be better if I found something. Actually, this would be the proper, that would maintain that color. But then look, I got that pink. I think it'll be okay. So I can put that there and maybe do a loop. The loops like this on this necklace. See this? I could actually go in like this and do another loop, or chain. What about your swirly hook? The swirly hook would actually be the right. I don't have one of those sitting, but I was just thinking, Melanie, just thinking, hey, guess what would work really good? That one. That one would work perfectly. So I'm going to hunt for that. And I want to put this here. But look how good that's starting to, starting to get a real nice flow to it. But you know what? I want to make it really long. Just like this necklace. I want all my necklaces to be long lately. I don't know what that story's about. I'm going to connect this. Need another piece of silver wire. Actually, I should grab some bronze to keep up with this bronze silver look. Bronze silver. Melanie says, I love that hook. Just bought 2 more. LOL. Yeah, that's a good one. Wendy says, you and I have such similar taste. Yes. Wendy and I went to this really cool gallery downtown called Moda. Actually, when I went in there, I was kind of depressed because, it wasn't, I was looking at these earrings and necklaces and I was like, what is with this place? Everything in here is so expensive. And there was a pair of earrings that had this kind of fishing lure, like it was really delicate and had all these tiny pieces. Those earrings, when I took them out to look, how much were they? They're like $2,000. I was like, what am I doing with my life that these folks are getting that much money? And I got folks like hemming and hawing and acting like it's a fortune for like $120 necklace. I'm like, are they joking right now? I mean, you can go to Anthropologie and buy a top that you might get, I don't know how many wears out of, maybe 15. And then it's like kind of, it's not going to look as good. And then they're going to say, oh, it's too expensive. It just makes me, I don't know. I was like, maybe I need to find out how to get into this gallery. But the other side of that is that when you have a gallery that's representing you, you usually have to give up 50%. But still,
50?
Yeah, 50. And it's sometimes 60, depending. You just never know.
That's the crazy.
Yeah, Wendy's like, oh my God, still my favorite shopping. That was good. Wendy said, or Caroline says, I like the filigree component as a bracelet with gemstone spacers. Yeah. Wendy says, it was high class stuff. I still love the cheaper stuff I bought there too, though. I don't remember did I give that to you, Zoe, that rubber bracelet?
Yeah.
I gave it to Zoe. It was made out of silicone rubber. Pretty cool.
How much did you pay for it?
It wasn't a lot.
Good, because I'm not impressed with stuff like that.
Well,
I toss it like that amber.
yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. So these are on. I'm gonna take some of these off. Yeah, look how much it looks like now, and then when you get it, this is only the strand's like I want to say it's like $20, not even. A nice pile of labradorite. Yeah, some of it has green flash. You can see it real pretty. All right, if we do this, I don't know. We'll connect it little by little. That's what's happening is this necklace. It's like the connection point keeps growing. But that's kind of, the part of the reason I'm showing it is because it's what, it's the possibilities of what you can do. I want people to like it as much as I do. This is one of the caps. This could be, how pretty this would be. Could do that. Little pewter cap. They can throw that on the side over here. Yeah, it's getting busy. But this is a lot of how I work is I make little piles, I'll put things together, and then you see sometimes I'll chop it right off. But once you make it, like once I've made this, I can recreate this. So if I have to, and it'll be different, it's not easy to make the same thing over and over and over. At least for me, it's not easy because I want to make it different each time. But it's fun to make the different types of pieces like this because there's so much potential for what you can do and how you can change it. So one other way, and I wanted to show this too, this is kind of fun too. Where'd those one beads go? Oh, we'll do these gold ones. Take about 3 or 4 inches. I'm going to use some of these gold plate. These are silver that have a finish on them. And this will, you hear that man down. I just flung across the room. These have a nice big hole. Part of me wants to go in. I'll just see how this looks. But part of me is thinking I might finish this with knotting because it will give me a nice finish. But this is already kind of full of wire wrap, so I might as well continue with all the wire wrapping that's happening in here. I might not use this as, because see, I have this happening. Maybe I'll do this. I'm filled with indecision, as you can probably tell by how I keep going back to one side and then the other. Because this isn't a very thick wire, I am loath to make it the main connection point. Flex is stronger than this wire. And that's why I'm sitting here going, oh, I don't want to put that. It's fine for dangles, but do you want to risk? I mean, there's some pretty expensive beads on here. Do you want to risk having this be the thing that broke the camel's back? No. So I'm probably going to let that sit and use that, or we'll just string the rest of them up while I see them to make a ring and add something to like a decorative element, but not as a load-bearing element. Load-bearing meaning, see, this is a continuous strand of soft flex. It's very sturdy. So what I want to do is I don't want to connect it with that weak 25 gauge. So what I'll probably do is grab the soft flex and come in from the other side. And I have, this is fine, but it's very strong. Wendy says, I think it's much cooler to have each necklace as a unique piece. Well, you know, it's super hard to make things, well, at least for me, I can make the elements different and I can make the beads themselves, you know, each bead is a little bit different, but I don't know. Trying to copy is kind of hard, I feel like. So there'll be variation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in a pattern and see how it looks. Just to check. And I might throw in some other pinks in there. Maybe the pink goes on this side. Yeah, you might be saying to yourself, man, does Thornton even know what she's doing? The answer is no. The answer is, I know how to string, I know how to design, but, you know, sometimes I just like to play around with my stuff and make things. And I have a vision, but the vision can easily change within a moment. Sometimes it gets boring making your own stuff the same. I like to change things up. So even if I've made the necklace, someone will say to me, you know, I got this message from this gal. She gave me the biggest, hardest time of my life. Oh my goodness. Wanted this necklace, and I made that necklace some 20 years ago. And she was like, I'll do whatever it takes. And I'm like, listen, just copy it. Just take a picture and go copy it. Take it down to your bead store and they'll help you. So she was like, no, I don't want to learn. I don't want to do. I said, okay, fine. But it's going to take months because I have to go track down these specifically because they're not readily available. And she's like, okay, fine. But then when it came down to it, it was like such a nuisance because like every few days I would get a message. So how's it going? I'm like, listen, I haven't even gone. The show hasn't even opened. There's no show yet. And it was not easy. She was a little difficult. Yeah, that was very difficult. And that's why I don't like, well, number one, sometimes you just can't get the same beads. So anyway, this might be one where it fits a little close to the neck. So this side's gray, could be gray. And then maybe I'll do like some of these in between. Let's see how it looks. I can always take it off if it doesn't look great. That's my theme here, is I can always start over. As you guys can see, I've started over like 16 times. It's fine. And I'm also using this gold soft flex, so you get a little bit of that hint in between the beads. So this is going to be the connection point right here. I'm going to connect that. It needs to be long enough to go around those. So probably at least 12.
Oh my gosh, I did it.
Oh, you succeeded. Show it. So Azalea and I have been trying to figure out how to make these doll heads have a sort of a hoop-like or a hood-like look.
I'll just show example here.
All right, that should be long enough. Plus, these are more expensive. They have the gold on, so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead and tuck it in. Go on there and show it.
So with this one, the one I did before, oh my god, that's huge. So for this one I did before, I made the body and the head a classic teddy bear shape, and the head is just round. That's so zoomed in. Hold on, I gotta lock in. Her face is big enough as it is. All right. Sorry. So I made her head like a classic teddy bear ball shaped head, and then I stitched the plate onto it, and that's why there's so much lace there. As I was covering it up. It's cute anyway, but I was covering it up. And this is my new lamb that I'm making. And instead of stitching it to the ball, I've patterned it. So instead of this coming out for a snout, I trimmed away to fit and accommodate this head shape of the lamb. And the only thing I need to do now is just make like a little band to go right here, and then I can finish this up and stuff it. And these are the gussets for the ears and whatever. But I wanted to do this so it looked set into the head instead of stitched on the surface of it.
Like it's wearing a hood.
Yeah, I want it to look like it's wearing a hood and not wearing a mask. But yeah, this is going to be super cute. This is going to be my first lamb. I'm going to make the body the same, but then instead of it standing upright, I'm not going to do anything different with the body. I'm just going to pose it like it's on all fours.
So that's cute.
I'm excited to finish this up. I'm happy this is my first try with changing the pattern.
Let me touch its face. Oh,
smooth. I know.
It's very smooth.
And the resin sets in the paint, so the face will never wear. I'm happy with it. My first try.
Yeah, it looks great.
Thanks.
Good job, Azalea.
Yay. Okay.
Very cute.
Thank you.
We have our retreat that we are going to on Friday. It's pretty fun and exciting. Usually we do yarn dyeing, and this time we're going to show needle felting. And apparently I'm heading that excursion. So I guess I better come up with some.
Like the third time this has happened to you.
What?
Maybe not their retreat, but
we're it's like a surprise.
Surprise! You're teaching. We're teaching now.
Well, sometimes it's fun. Oh shoot! You know what I did? I did the same thing I was just telling you. You just gotta. Dang. I went through all the rigmarole and didn't even add it. That's actually, if you want to know, that is actually how I started making these necklaces in that section, because I kept forgetting to attach them. So that's the reason. That's how that all began. But it works, the unusual. Now, this is a multi-mixed metal piece, so I'm not bothered by the colors of metal not being exactly a match. Now, if that bugs you, then that's the time that you would have all matching colors. Yeah, I don't want that to show, so I want to put a bead on top of it. See what I have that would go fit over top of it. You know, I have some, ooh, I have one of these big ones. Let's see if this fits. Now, I didn't do it on this side. I see where I have to redo those. Look how messy that one. Boy, that looks chewed up. God. I found these in the bag. Look at that. And does it fit? Come on, get over that. Get over that hill. I hate it when that happens. When it's like almost so close. Let's flip it over. Maybe that will be the, you know, sometimes one side's wider than the other. Yes. There we go. Almost. Crimp cover. I'm going to crimp cover. I'll just make a match. What the heck? That was, how do you call it? Like optimism in action right there. Put one of those pink tourmaline. Oh, maybe I'll go this color with it. Now the question, should I put some, I didn't do any of that on top, so maybe I won't on the bottom. At first I thought, hey, maybe I'll do that. I don't know. We'll see how it looks. At first I was like, maybe I'll put some of these in between each one, but I didn't really do it over here. Let's see how it will look. I can always take it off. I don't like it. Does it add anything? Let's see, it might give it a little more finished look. And like I said, it's easy enough to undo it and start again. Yeah, I kind of do like it. I wish I did do it on that. Maybe I'll redo the whole thing. I'm not afraid to redo. Like I did this, I completely, when the live was over, I completely redid this. Yeah, why is that one so loud? Oh, is it over here? That, when I got off the live, I completely restrung it. And then it looks, to me, it looks a little bit better. Sometimes I make mistakes. Not even mistakes, it's just design elements. Look at some of these bigger ones. Looks like there's several sizes with these. Another pink one in there. It's kind of good. Maybe pink or something else. Yeah, what the heck?
It's on like 6 now, and it just keeps progressing loud.
Yeah, it's like it wants to be heard. Some of this music we've got on there, it's like healing vibes, kind of to be relaxing. I don't know. I don't know if it's relaxing to y'all. Maybe I'll change it up with one of these in there. Kathy says, Cynthia, you'll be able to wear that necklace. You are making so many different ways. Love it. I do like a necklace that does that. I will say that for sure. Find one of these that are a little bit darker. Some of these you can see on this strand, they're a little lighter, and then some are darker. Yeah, with the gold and the different metals, you have these sections. I want to do 3 sections. Wouldn't that be pretty? Just to do 3 sections. One more of this right here. Let's see how much I can do with this. I don't know, or it's going to get really long. One section there. So far it's 2 sections, 2 of these metal sections. But I think I'm going to keep going. I want, let's see. I'm gonna get one of these great big ones in here just to change it up. I like that. It's kind of neat. But I've been keeping with a smaller diameter. So one thing you got to think about when you're making this, if you want the necklace to be worn with in any direction, if you make one side heavier, so if I added a bunch of heavy, this side would always be in the front, no matter what. So I'm going to withdraw those guys and kind of keep it light because this pewter piece is heavy, but it's not quite the same weight because silver's heavier. And this gold one is heavy too. Even though it's only plate, it's still heavy. So that. Then I got to figure out where I'm gonna hook up. I could add my connection point here because I think that's what I'll do is I'll have either this snake or that big spiral loop. I think that spiral loop would be best. But I'm going to hold that there as a place marker for. I think that would look the best. And I think 3 sections is the smartest way to go. So maybe we'll do this here. It's like that. Sounds good. Maybe something small and pink on this. I think it's it has its charm. You know what else I think would be pretty? What if I put one of those there? Is that too much? Never too much. It's kind of big. Kathy says 26 to 27 inch long and you can go over your head with no clasp. Ooh, yeah, I forgot about that. You know, sometimes I hate fooling with a clasp. And if it has a clasp, it should have the function of being adjustable. I like that story, an adjustable clasp. How do we feel about that? I think that looks pretty good. Go like this. And then one more section. Could do another section like this, hanging more off of this would be pretty fun. See how this looks. I wish I had a little bit smaller. But is it too opulent? No such thing. Kathy, I'm with you. Kathy says no, not too opulent. You know, it might be fun. It's like maybe it might be a kind of exciting. Is if I did gemstone. Look at these. Wouldn't this be a good idea? So these are real small too. Those are some smoky quartz, but they have a very big hole. They would be good to make around as well. So I'm gonna save those for later. Oops. These have a big hole, which brings me joy. You guys know how much I despise tiny holes and things. So now this is another point. If these don't fit, sometimes you get it where your piece will not fit. Like these won't go through. Some of them might not go through. So the trick to that, you can still use it and you could just do, it just looks like, let me see, take it off, string. So that's not going to fit through there. What you do is you go from this side, then keep going, the halfway point. So it looks like it's going through. You see what I mean? It's not actually going through. It just looks like it. We probably have like a million watch hours on this healing drum music. Is always like wonderful.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing to have. I'm recommending
Mm-hmm. See, look,
instead of like freaky stuff.
you wouldn't even know it. You would just think, hey, it looks like it goes all the way through, but it doesn't. Go through this. And look at how big that hole in that ruby. Come on, massive. Could knot with that. Real easy. That's why I picked it out. All right, look how that's looking. So this is what we have so far. Now, we could be done with it, add a clasp, and call it neat. I don't know. Probably not, though. I make sure this is nice and tight. I hate it when there's a gap. It's like it's one of my other pet peeves besides slow internet. There's a gap in the. It's like a loose tooth. It's hard for me to live with it. Zoe was the same way when she was little. She never had a loose tooth for longer than a day.
Yeah.
If she had a loose tooth, she would just pull it out. And
It was itchy.
She can't stand it. When I was a kid, I would let it go, and I would annoy my mom by walking up to her and showing her the loose tooth. Because she's kind of squeamish, she don't like that kind of stuff. But you probably have guessed I am not even a little bit squeamish, so it would make me laugh.
You're squeamish about blood.
Yeah. Okay. A little bit about blood. Sometimes when I do clasps, I don't know why, but when I do crimps, I just make the ugliest crimps in the whole world. All right, so that's what we have so far. Let me see if that fits my neck, actually. That does fit my neck. So, I got to deal with this. This is going to make me crazy. I'm going to deal with this, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. So, here is the necklace so far. What I need to do is put a clasp on it. I have not considered, I don't have the clasp that I want. I want that, I have like a swirly clasp. It's a great big hoop. That will make it so that this will fit exactly around my neck, where all this business can keep, it'll just be like, it'll be like a kind of a right at your collarbone size. Or I could add another section, or I could make it where it's convertible. You know how we were talking before, like you could make it where there's a section that's removable. That could be here, and it could be a bracelet. So that's pretty cool. Gold and ruby color, beautiful. Thank you. Yes, I agree. I think that looks really good. Let's take a closer look at that. And you know what? I think ruby and pinks look really good with labradorite. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but it was my first love. When I first saw labradorite at the limited store in Columbus, Ohio, circa 1992, or whenever that was, it was in a little pair of earrings, and I was like, what is that? What is that? And it was like one of these, but it was smooth. And that was the first time I saw it, and ever since then, I have loved it. It's like it goes with everything. You put it with everything. I don't know. Wendy says, I don't know why, but I think blood is beautiful. It's the stuff of life. Yes, it is, but that's why there's such a horror of it when it's not inside where it's supposed to be. It needs to be in its safe space. It doesn't need to be out in the open. All right, let's look a little bit closer. So that will fit with a clasp. That fits right at. Let's just turn it on. Let's just flip the camera around so we can actually get a good view of what's happening here. All right, let's see. It's so hot in the studio. It's like 60 degrees, 50 degrees outside, but up here, Okay. Switch the camera. Okay, so yeah, bigger, longer is better, I think. Yeah, the labradorite is very flashy and good. Look, you see it. So that is with about an inch of movement. You know what I mean? Like this much space between. But you know what? I kind of love the idea of it being like this, so that this thing can keep traveling around, or even like this long. So actually, maybe 2 sections would be cool, you know? But, sometimes you want it to be up here, depending on the necklace line of your shirt. Like this would be good. So if I did it this long, I would need like 2 inches, maybe 2 inches extra. So see what I mean? There's a lot. When you're working like this, it's more complicated. It takes longer. But once you do one, you've got kind of it's almost like you have the muscle memory to do it again, different colors, different shapes. But you're like, yeah, I could do, however many, hey, 3 sections will give you like this length, which is, I wear necklaces. This is the length that I usually have because it hits right at that, at the V-neck, But I also love a super long necklace. It's like, really long. But anyway, yeah, Kathy, make it so you can make it long or short. So if you have a piece that you could take off, that's even better because then you're like, oh, I want it to fit here. Perfect. You just take off a section. You could even use that section. If it's 7 inches, you could make it so that it fits exactly for a necklace. And then you could add another one, 2 bracelet lengths. If you did another 14 inches, say, so 2 bracelets, you could hook them up back to back so that you have a bracelet on each arm and then one around your neck, or all connected. It would be about 24 inches long. Yeah. Or Vicky says, I think if you have it long, you can double. So the options with this style are, there's a lot of ways to use it. So hopefully you got some fun inspiration for some pieces, whether you would like to do these little dangles are kind of fun. I think mixed metal, real cool. This is probably one of my favorite pieces. It's supposed to be inspired by lichen, and you can kind of see that shape. But what I like about it is that you have a lot of opportunity. You could bead the whole top and leave part of it open. You could paint it with patina paints. You could spray paint it. It's a lot of opportunity to change it. So anyway, that's what we did today. And I am going to drop a link for some of the things. We added these guys if you're interested. I did not show anything to do with the opals, but they're gorgeous. And this is the one that we had a few requests for breaking them up. I broke them up. The last 2 strands, I broke them up into 5 sections. So if you were one of those folks that were looking for this and you didn't want to buy the whole strand, now's your opportunity. I went through and weighed them and made it so that everybody would get, the same amount. So not one, one of them is you get the end like this, and then somebody else gets the middle. We didn't do it that way. I broke them up. It takes me a minute to do it. So it's not, it's tedious. Let's just be real. It's tedious. Caroline says, are you making the small leaf dangles? I haven't, but if you guys are interested, I'll make a batch. They're all a little bit, what you call it. I make them by hand. They're all different, but I will make them. I'll mold them, and then we can do it. So they'll all be good. And I'll make them in a couple of sizes because you know what? I don't want to have to make all of those for this dangle. These would make fantastic earrings with that. You know what? It would be good with another dangle. It'd be so good. All right, my friends. I'm glad I see a lot of thanks. Thank you guys for joining us this evening. I know you have a lot of options out there, and it just brings me so much joy that you're spending your time with me. So we will see you on Wednesday, and I'm going to have this done because I want to wear it tomorrow. I have plans. So I'm going to have that done, and we will see you on Wednesday. All right, my friends. All right. Good night.
Night, everybody.